Okay, in the beginning of the statement, we hear Obama talk about the war on terror. Now, I remember he said that there was no more war on terror, that we're in a state of a war against, not a religious war, not a terroristic war, not a jihad war, but just a war against people that are against just American values, or just against people in general. The first statement he says, we'll send troops anywhere to any country for a war on terror. He even covers that, which is really strange. What does this have to do with addressing American people about the oil spill? I'm not really sure. But then later you hear him say, I'm going to send 17,000 National Guard troops to the Gulf. What I don't understand is the Coast Guard can actually be activated just like the National Guard. Why didn't he say, I'm going to, increase the amount of Coast Guardsmen, for forever so we can handle this account? Because that's one of it's me as a former Coast Guardsman. The Coast Guard has 30,000 active military. Active duty military. And then another, 15 to 20 maybe reserves. But total reserves and active, 30,000. You know how much the Air Force has? 150,000. Now think about this. Scratch your heads. 30,000. And guess what? 30,000 Coast Guard troops in 2010 is the same amount in 1942. Active duty before it blew up to 150. Yeah, the Coast Guard went up to 150. So, let's look at the Word of God. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go, and I talked about this briefly in the video. Matthew 24, verses 7 and 8. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse areas. These are the beginning of all sorrows. So there's the earthquake part. So we got earthquakes going on. Over 15 earthquakes in California. What is going on? People are kind of scratching their heads as to why. Why is all this stuff happening? Then we got Revelation. We got Revelation 8, 7, and 8. It says the first angel sounded, and there hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and a third of the trees will burn up, and all the green grass was burn up. Well, if you look in all the different areas for quite a while since Chernobyl, I can't talk tonight. Fire has been coming down through different ways in different areas, and then you got the fires in the west coast and everything. Now it says a second angel comes, and there was a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. Wait a second, what did I just say? A third part of the sea became blood. And then it says, verse 9, and a third part of the creatures which were in the sea, they had life. They died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel came, and fell a great star from heaven, burning as a lamp, and it fell upon the rivers and the waters. Now, if you check all this stuff out, this is just the beginning. So for the whole context of revelation of the angel being released, this is a good example. You got Exxon Valdez. You now have this Gulf spill. Now, hypothetically, for this to really probably grasp more of you guys' minds, what if this doesn't stop? What if we can't stop it fast enough? Or yet again, what if more deep water drills in other countries damage? That's exactly what this verse is talking about. Because like I said, if when you watch this video and you fly over oil, and you can do this, you can practice. You can take your oil from the store and pour it into a thing and just let it set and ferment for a while in water. And you look at it from a distance. It'll have like a multicolored look from one side, and then it'll have the black. And then depending on what happens, it'll have a red hue. The Word of God was written over 2,000 years ago. This is predicted this will happen. Now, what does this have to do with the oil spill? I'll say it again. The oil is red. And in this video, this guy says, the oil is, he says the oil is red. And then he goes and furthermore says, It looks like the earth is bleeding. The earth is bleeding. So, we got these context of verses because it's all connected, guys. This is what's going on. This is how the end of days will happen. It says, Revelation chapter 16. Now, this is verse 3. Revelation chapter 16, verse 3. Check this out. It says, and the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man. And every living soul died in the sea. And then it says, the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. So for this to happen, like I said, oil. It is plain and simple. The oil is going to come out of the ground in multiple different places. If you don't believe in the Word of God, it's right here, folks. Oil is black. Now, when this was written, he didn't know anything about oil. All he did was see the sea, and it's blue, and it's green, and it's murky, whatever. And all of a sudden, here's this stuff coming into it. And it's red, and it's black. That's what's going to happen. That's what is happening now. It's crazy. It's insane. What are you going to do about it?
Here's the thing. If I can just share my thoughts for a moment. He didn't, when the earthquake happened in Haiti, this was a huge, horrible thing that happened, affected, all the people in Haiti, blah, blah, blah. People didn't have any jobs. They lost their jobs. They were basically going to be homeless. America went and helped. Well, he really didn't say anything about how we're going to really help the people in the Gulf. He didn't talk about having fundraisers. He didn't talk about having, big concerts, to raise money to, keep the businesses up and help people feed their families because they can't go out and fish. He didn't mention any of that.
And that's the thing. What's so weird is less than 7 days after what happened in Haiti, you already got people working together to do a Haiti concert. You got ministries and other people sending people out to doing things. And there's posts all over Twitter. I mean, there's hashtags, hope for Haiti. And now I'm seeing this stuff with the oil, and the only thing I'm seeing people say, well, you know what? Oil just costs too much. You know what? It's just too expensive. Why not?
No, the thing I've
have
heard,
an opportunity.
It's BP's problem. Let them deal with it.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I've heard. It's BP's problem. Let them deal with it.
Well, it's also the people that live there problem because they're being affected by it.
I have friends that live in Louisiana and Florida and Oklahoma and Mississippi. And, I like fish. You guys probably like fish. Some people I know, they like to go and do vacationing and boating and skiing and all that stuff. This stuff is a long, massive impact. Wildlife, mammals, fish, all sorts of stuff are happening. It's bad. It's crazy. It's insane. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.